they live their life and look at what they follow. You understand? Like they're strong and they whatever like their ancestral background is, they have that strong belief for that and that strong passion for that. And that's why all you need to do, think about how like a system may work, right? How a certain like a group of people may come up with a system or something. Like what I'm saying is like but that's what I'm trying to say, like an music industry or like being the cooking industry. You need, what I'm saying is you don't really need to go to school to learn about the industry. Like every industry they provide like readings and teachings and stuff on that you can like look up, and black people just don't do that. So they're gonna believe I gotta go to school to learn about that, right? Well, all you really need or whatever you want to do, and use the conditions or whatever, the rules system, whatever, for that industry that you want to get in. All you need to do is understand it to the point where you're able to be a part of it, and you don't need to go to school, because the thing about it, when you go to school, you get a template for everything. Right. Even though that they allow creativity, you get a template for everything. So there's already a certain type of way you got to do it before you even do it. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And when that's not the only type of way you have to do it. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay. It's more than one way to be successful in one certain industry or whatever, or organization or whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's true, because you've seen it. There's more than one way to be successful. But what's going on? Why there's more, but there's more, like, you know what I'm saying, more Caucasians than that. For one, the black people are, for some reason, we are naturally gonna, like, just because of our code, whatever the case may be, we're naturally gonna act how we act, however we act. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna act. Culture, look how they act. You know what I'm saying? And that's not bad. All right. From and the way that we act conflicts with the what's the word I'm looking for? It conflicts with the how you have, basically how I'm saying the way we act conflicts with how you're supposed to act when you're in school. Right. So we're gonna get kicked out of school. Wow. Right. They gonna send us to all the alternative schools. They're not gonna pay attention to us in the class. Cause think about any type of child that misbehaves. They need more attention. Not that they want it or they need that attention. That attention is required for that. And the way they act is not bad at all. That's a part of their character and their culture and where they come from. But because that's denied and bashed on, and that's all they know, they're not going to receive any help. Right. And it's going to seem like they don't want any help, when all it is, they're just being themselves. And it's looked at as bad because it's a different culture that what we're supposed to be being part of. And that's what I'm trying to get out. And that's what, if I had kids, I want to homeschool my whatever type, because I want to understand. I don't want the world to teach them. That's good. I don't want the world to teach them. I want to be able. The world teaches them, they're gonna be too fast, and then they're gonna on their own. And now, at the same time, everything. For example, higher ups in authority, anybody that's put in place in front of them, that's going to be a roadblock for them. They're not going to know how to maneuver around it, so they're going to be cut short. You see what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I want to prevent. You know, because when you give, it's like when a child is given too much room for opinion and like when they get too much time to receive information, and when the source that they're getting it from is going to be more appreciated than their parents.
Right. It is.
The sources, wherever
right.
that child is learning from,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the streets or the school or their friends or their teachers
That
or wherever they
source
going, that source is gonna get more admiration because they feel like that's how I'm learning. This is how I'm supposed to act. This is the example I'm getting.
Okay.
Right? And then when you come home, you're saying your parents are gonna tell you this and this and that, but it's like. And then you got the kids like, dang, I can't wait to get out of the house, like type stuff. And when that really ain't how you supposed to be.
Right.
You feel me? That's really, you supposed to want to be with you supposed to want to be home and be with your parents and y'all be strong together. And like because even though individualism is a good thing, too much of it is not healthy because you don't have any structure for yourself. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So it's like you getting structure from everywhere else, and it's not stable because when you it conflicts with your home culture, what you're supposed to be, what you are, and that's really what I feel like the downfall of the black community is.
All right, I have a question. I want your opinion on. Okay, so my grandmother was born in 1919. Annie Lee Holmes. Right. She only went to school she went to school twice, not to second grade, not for twice, because she had to work in the fields. Right. So it conflicted with the hours that she needed to work. Okay. So because of that, she was not educated. Right. I wasn't born until 1978, and so imagine all those years that she lived successfully though, without an education. Her husband's worked, but she wasn't. Not only did she not have an education, but she also never learned how to drive.
And this is what. Okay, go ahead, bro. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I grew up hearing words like moderately conservative, but still I heard words like I ain't going over there, or I'm finna be over there, or over yonder. Just certain words that to me were well, not to me, but to society. Okay, so I'm gonna explain a little bit. So I never could come home and pretty much ask my grandmother, who became a widow by the time before I was a teenager. I couldn't come home and get help from her for school, which it didn't bother me because love was there. So, and communication was there, bonding was there. So it didn't affect me educationally when I went to school and learned, because I was able to come home. I had a safe home to come home to, and the quietness and the privacy to study and all of that. That's kind of not available to kids these days either. But what I'm getting to is that I speak what is called ebonics, because my grandmother and other older women, they didn't speak proper English. Right. They spoke broken English. My great great grandmother was a slave. So imagine when they came over here, they spoke a different language, and I'm pretty sure if they did know how to write, they wrote a different language. So when they came over here as slaves, they came over here without the opportunity to learn the language of the slave masters. They had to learn to understand what they're talking about so that they could obey without the proper training and understanding of their language and their culture. They had to come over here. So when we did break away from slavery and had certain liberties, my grandmother wasn't a slave, and I didn't experience slavery, but how it affected me is speaking ebonics as soon as I get home from school with some of my friends in school, all on the weekend, but then at school or when I get ready to go get a job, if I speak that way, I may not get the job. Or even to another black person that hears me speak ebonics, they'll discredit my education, my intellectualism, if I say anything, if I speak ebonics in any way, or if I use profanity or something like that. I'm looked down on, and I'm discredited because of that. And to me, that's a cultural barrier, because a person can come from Jamaica, and that's ebonics, pig Latin, all of that. To me, that's ebonics. But they're able to mess that up. If a Chinese person come over here, they can say, "Me go over there." They'll still get the job. Their communication, the way they communicate, and the fact that they can't speak proper English does not stop them from getting a job or getting looked down upon because of their race. Even the black people from Jamaica, just because it has Jamaica on it or Puerto Rican on it or something like that, they don't be looked at as African Americans. As an African American, if I speak Ebonics and I go to a job, I'm going to be looked at as an ignorant ass person.
And it's like, how you gonna call it ignorant when I came over here? First of all, you gonna call me dumb because I don't know your language. But how I'm gonna know your language and I ain't never met you before, right? So then on top of that, we gonna have to figure out our own. That's what make black people so powerful. We able to understand these people and what they saying to us, even though we don't know what they saying.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then we able to make up a choppy version of it. We made up our own. Think about it. Ebonics or whatever. What's Ebonics like, right?
Ebonics is just broken English.
So think about it. We didn't speak a lick of English, and we was able to make up an Ebonic language. Think about that. Think about that. And then now because how the system is made, where it's like, all right, we done came far enough where everybody supposed to know this and that. You ain't even the whole time. Our people, we literally made up our own language. Talking to y'all, because y'all obviously y'all don't classify it as y'all language because I'm saying right. That's what I'm saying. Right. And obviously y'all don't classify it as y'all language. Y'all don't classify it as y'all language because we use that terminology, right? Right. But then it's not classified as another person's broken English because we supposedly have been here long enough to understand. I'm American, right? But we were never taught English properly. We were never ever taught English properly. Right. We made up our own language, talking to them.
But if I speak it around another black person, and especially if a white person around, they're gonna be like, "This ignorant motherfucker."
That's what I'm saying.
That's what they're gonna say.
How you gonna call that English? I understand everything you're saying. You understand everything I'm saying. Right. Even with the broken words and all that, you still know what I'm talking about.
I'm not discrediting proper English, but what I'm saying to our brothers and sisters that do speak Ebonics, that have that is difficult for them to transition over to talking properly every day. When my whole life I'm talking like, yo, what's up? Yeah. Not that that's proper, but culturally this is what it is. And this is how we communicate and got along.
It's like you can't call that ignorant or improper because that was a raw language. That's like a raw language. It's its own language.
And it's added to every year.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like all that, the street slang, all that. That's all Ebonics. That's all Ebonics. That's what I'm saying. Like how like black people don't even understand what they